the life in English, and I'm speaking Polish. All right, I don't know how to avoid. In Facebook, I see myself very well, clearly, and here I don't. And I don't know how to do it. I think there must be that kind of shade, which I don't like, really. Well, maybe that's what it needs to be, because I need to charge my telephones, so I can't put myself where I always put myself in. What problems today? All right. Oh. All right. All right. Today I want to talk about Peru, because I'm Vietnam, Peru. I'm Polish. I'm JOANNA, and I'm in Peru. I live in Peru. I've been living here for 3 years almost, without 2 months. In 2 months, I will be living here 3 years, and I'm Vietnam in Peru. What I do, I just help people. I offer holistic analysis just to check your matrix, like who you are, what's your purpose in life, and so on. But I'm starting with my workshop, Mystic Workshop in Peru, and it will be next year from March, maybe even before, 2026. So check out my website. And here below, I will also put a link, but my website is frommatrix2self.com, and over there you will find information about this mystic workshop. You just can go to Gaio Sofia, and over there you will see that, or in Vietnam, Peru, or just, you know, look for it. You will find on the website. But also here below, I will put the link. So all the description is there. It's for everybody, and it's for men and women, and men and women. So come join me. It will be I will do some ceremonies, and it's connected to shamanism, and it's connected to 4 elements. And it's like an activation of your archetypes, your 4 elements inside you. I don't use ayahuasca, and I'm not really into that, I would say. But those are ceremonies connected to your internal elements, your feminine and masculine energy. So it's worth coming, I tell you. So if you resonate with me, just come join me and follow me and subscribe here, please, because I've got so many problems right now with they just don't let me show what I do, show what I want to say. They just block me, and so many problems. So if you want to help, you can just subscribe or just follow me, yes, because the workshop will be very interesting. So come join me. And today I want to talk about Peru, about where to live in Peru, how to build a house, and how do they live here. So a little bit about that, some practical stuff. Let's talk about that, because many people want to know, and some people want to come emigrate to Peru, and why not? That's a beautiful place, and that's a great idea. Europe is for Europeans, I would say. We have been living there for such a long time, and it's becoming a little bit difficult. If somebody wants to shift, change their life, if you want to come visit Peru for some time longer, for example, for a year, you want to live here, or half a year, or you just want to emigrate, or you just want to live in sea if you want to emigrate, I just have some information for you. So it's all about buildings, all about how do they live here, and what are your possibilities as a European, yeah? Everything separate, like if you want to know prices, transport, every live transmission here, I will be talking about that. But I will also put some general stuff about Latin America, yeah? But check also my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, because I already started. I have started this series. So you will have Peru without censorship here on this channel, and you have other my transmissions. So check it, because I already gave some information, right, connected to other topics. Okay, so yeah, Peru is in Latin America. Yeah, it's kind of in the center. It's, I would say, it is with their culture of Incas and Huancas, and yeah, the culture of Hispanic, Spanish people who came here. And I will not talk right now about that history, which was kind of bloody, but I will talk maybe one day, but it's not about that. I want to do it practical. So there is a mixture, but Peru, in that sense, of that mixture of cultures, is very much a center, I would say, very conservative and very open at the same time, very kind of stable, but also very lots of movement inside. So it's specific, and I would say it's a heart of Peru, also because the powers of energy powers and those energetic points, fields are also in Peru. Yeah, of course, it's connected to Bolivia, Chile somehow. Yeah, Titicaca Lake is like on the border. But yeah, okay. So basically, buildings. How do they build their houses? How do they live? And how it works here? Yeah, first of all, I already said that, but I will repeat that there are kind of 3 zones here, 3 climate changes, climate areas. So those are differences also. Those differences are also in houses, yeah, how you can live. So at the coast, so costa, at the coast, the climate is hot, and there is kind of no rain. So sometimes it's very there is lots of humidity, so you can feel it in the air, and it's, of course, because it's the ocean, yeah, area, but the land, it's sand, so it's sandy, it's arena, how they say, so it's like a desert, yeah. And they have their chacras, they have their fields, they have their plantations, of course. Like I live near Cañete, so there's Lima, Cañete, and Lima, it's like lemons. They were growing over there, not so much right now. Over there, it's a big capital city. But then you've got Cañete, it comes from caña, which is the sugar cane, yeah? And this they keep on doing that. Then there are plantations of also pineapples and bananas and so on. But okay, it's hot. There are seasons, kinda, but more or less it's like you would say it's just colder or hotter because it's more, there's lots of humidity. It's just that in their winter, and it's upside down, yeah. When in Europe we've got winter, here, like in Australia, on the other hemisphere, it's summer. So right now, for example, the summer is finished, the winter is finishing, and the spring is coming. So it was cold, but not so cold. I mean, their winter is not like winter, for example, in Poland, where I'm coming from, and especially not like in Russia or not like in Norway. So it's kind of freezing, but it's not really freezing. It's not There is no below 0 Celsius, for example, but it's kind of wet and cold, so it's not so it's kind of, you don't feel it's nice, yeah. But not at the coast, not in Sierra Andes, and not in Selva, of course. They don't use chimneys. They don't really use heating system, any heating system, I would say. Yes, of course, you can have it. You can, for example, in Cusco area, so where you've got the sacred valley of Incas, they build houses which are not for them. That's basically for renting for Europeans or Americans or others, yeah. But people from outside Latin America, and over there they kind of put, yes, they put those chimneys, big fireplaces, because they know that we like it, and because, like, depending who it is, because I've heard that in Spain they don't really use much heating system. Even the south, it's it's getting cold, but we in Poland and north part, yeah, so North France, for example, Germany, North Germany, Poland, Russia, Norway, Sweden, we kind of have this idea. So when you change the season and when it's getting wet, like in autumn, you also need to heat, because then you've got the well, the problem is that you've got bacteria which are coming, and the something which, when you are wet, or when things are wet, when it's not getting dry, like for example your things that you will wash, it's not good for you. Simply, it's not good for your bones. So we kind of heat it, and our houses are hot, and we heat it, and we put chimneys, and we use it, those fireplaces. We don't use electric much, but we use fire, yeah, just to heat house, because it's not good when your walls and all your house gets wet and gets cold, simply. So we do it even not only in winter, like you think, people here think, oh, you've got below 0, so there's snow, so you put on your heating systems. Not only, you put a little bit of your heating system simply so that your house is not getting wet too much, and here you don't have that idea. And I would say, I don't know why it's that, but for example, here at the coast, maybe it's not so much, but here at the coast, you will not see that. I haven't seen that, but yeah, I haven't seen that. Even in Miraflores, in Lima, when you can buy an apartment or house, or even in areas of Lima, which are, how you say, for Europeans or by Europeans, or some Peruvian people who are kind of want to live like, not like in provincia. So they have their apartments and they have their houses, but normally there are no heating systems, even though they have something like autumn here at the coast. That's what I want to say. They have lots of humidity and cold. So it's kind of freezing, but they don't do anything about that. Maybe you just, guys, I don't know if there are any Peruvians, maybe you just put on some more clothes or whatever, but sometimes I think that you just get cold, which is strange, because I don't know how it was before. I think you were using lots of also natural materials, also maybe alfombras, like carpets and so on. But I don't know. Maybe you can get accustomed. Maybe you can get used to it. For me, it depends. Yeah, it depends. Okay. Now I've got two places, two houses. One house at the coast and one house, one place. Yeah, at the at the Sierra, in the Sierra, in Andes. So I'm kind of traveling, depending on what's the weather like. But basically here at the coast, we don't have any heating system. And in Lima and kind of, I think all the coast is like more European style. More Spanish people lived here. They had those fields, those chacras, those plantations. So here the idea is already like that you build everything from the bricks, with cement, with everything like that. Yeah, so it's kind of our style that we are used to in Europe or America, North America. You don't use much wood, but I see that you use bamboo. For example, if they do their, like they are also like kind of favela, how do you say, in Brazil, or those slum area, yes, kind of there's a city, and then before and on the other side they don't really get any early access to water. Yes, it exists in Peru as in all Latin America, but not only heating system, they don't have water, they need to get it. There are tanks, but that's not much water. But sometimes those people use just they use wood, kind of wood like bamboo, I would say, and their houses are kind of strange, but that's what you see, yeah, in all Latin America. But normally in cities or in houses, when you build on the coast by Peruvian people or other people, they are mainly like in Europe, and you can get that standard that you want. You will have the heating water, you will have the kind of, it's a desert, you can say, so the water is kind of a problem. It can be a problem. So they've got those water tanks, yeah. In Lima, for example, there are areas, there are districts where kind of the access to the water is more difficult, and they will tell you when you go to the hostel or when you live somewhere, they can tell you that you, for example, or they will cut off your water. Only in the morning you will have the shower, so check that. But basically the system is also kind of cheap or more expensive. But normally when you rent a room, a house, or check your systems in your, for example, shower, in your bathroom, because sometimes it's always, normally it's electric. It's electric depending if it works well or not well, how it works, how the water, what is the water tension, yeah, how it comes. It's interesting how they do it. But it's a kind of, it's not a standard, it's a kind of, yeah, it's a standard that you will have it when you rent, especially at the coast. So where places where foreigners come, then you will have it, but then it's more expensive, of course, than in provincia. And there are different systems, and it's not like a standard that you will have, for example, some big systems with gas, that it will heat the whole your house, and you will have the heating systems, heaters and heating systems for heating the house, and then you will heat your water, then your water will be heated by that. That's what we have. It's very common in Europe and North Europe, yeah, that we use those systems, and it's like you cannot not have it, yeah. It means, yeah, where do you live, yeah, because we will have everything, those kind of big heating systems. On you use gas, and then electric, yes, also, but it usually is electric and gas or something like that. Here it's not a standard. Here you can kind of, every room sometimes even can have it separately. It's not like a huge system for the whole house, but you can have it, but it's expensive. I mean, I don't know if it's really expensive. Maybe we'll talk about prices later, but I cannot tell you all the prices of the world. Europe also, there are two parts. Like, I'm from Poland, So, for example, zloty is like almost the price of one soul. So for me, it's like prices in Poland here, and food is cheaper and so on. But renting, depending where, in Andes, it's kind of cheap for me, because in Poland, it's a crazy place for politics. Kind of the politics fold. So everything is very expensive, but food is like here. Okay, so the heating system is a huge topic, and maybe I will stop here. But when you go to places like, for example, Andes, if you want really to rent a house equipped, everything will be inside there, and your shower, and then yeah, check it. But for example, Sacred Valley, Cusco, they have it, and they have those houses, they rent it, they have been renting that for years, and there are systems of roads and so on, yeah. And the Cusco, basically, it's not so Andes, and because it's Cejas de Selva, it means it's on the border of Andes, Sierra and Selva, yeah. But basically, if you go more north, so the central part, for example, I live in a little at the coast, but not in Lima. I don't like big cities. And not in Cañete. I live in Cerro Azul. It's like a pueblito, small kind of town, which is calm in winter, autumn, and so on. And then come tourists in summer, yeah. But I also live like 4 hours from here, in Yauyos, and it's a small town, up in the mountains, yeah. And it's central part of Andes, and central part of Andes and north part of Andes. It's not so known, and not so, I would say that even only the last 5 years, they've, for example, they've built a road, like with asphalt, yeah, a road, so you can access some parts. For example, that Yauyos, before you had the road, which was like the off-road track, and so you didn't really have many cars. Yeah, some were passing, but not many tourists as well. So only now they are starting with those bigger hotels and so on. So kinda it's also pure virgin, natural, and I would say it's nice, because not so many tourists over there. I like it, and I invite you, for example, to my workshop over there. There are also ruins of Incas, and it's magic, I would say. That's a lot of magic, which is not, yeah, you know that Cusco is beautiful. I talked in another transmission about the problem of kind of how they suck your energy if you do workshops over there in Sacred Valley. So I wouldn't really advise that. If you want just to go visit over there to Cusco and so on, but come to my workshop, which is elsewhere, which is in another part. Yeah, so heating system is one thing, but if you want a standard, which is European or North American, just look for it. And of course, you can from outside, you can R&B in Lima, of course, all that is there. Anyway, you should go and check it, because sometimes they build it for tourists, and they kind of tell you, oh, everything I have like a chimney, and then you see, especially in Andes, then you will see it, even in Cusco. And my friends live there or rent there, and they tell me, beware, because you need to check everything, like how works your shower, do you really have the hot water, and if electricity doesn't hit you, check, for example, how is your, I don't know, the system of your water, where you wash your stuff, your clothes, if nothing is leaking. Or you can check, for example, sometimes just they're so tiny, if there are a few rooms, the walls are sometimes so tiny that you can hear everything. Check mirrors if nobody can see you. So all that. And chimney, yeah, sometimes they just build the chimney, but since they don't really use it, then don't know it. The best is to do it by Polish people or northern people. We are skilled in everything, men or women. But basically they build in a way that this chimney may not go suck well, so your smoke, yeah, so it can come everything outside. So for example, my friends, I see it here where I live, but they said also over there, so you can beware. And they say just the best is to stay there, like you say, okay, so I want to check it well, and for example, I would like to stay here a few hours or sleep a night, yeah, trial night and day, just check everything on sea, yeah. So that's it. But basically the houses are like they are standard, yeah, at the coast and over there in Andes, but this is, I tell you, it's like it's Sierra Selva, where is the Sacred Valley. But then if you want to visit, and this is really the, for example, the reserve Yauyos Kocias, where I am, where I live, not now, I mean at the coast now, but over there, up the Andes. It's provincia. It's closer to Lima than Cusco, because Cusco is like 10 hours from here, traveling by car, but yeah, maybe a little, no, 10, more or less. Or but in here it's only 4 hours. But as I tell you, it's they are a little bit, they are not so accustomed also to tourists. There are not many tourists, but it's beautiful. You can go there, but check, for example, I don't think so you can really, there are only maybe 2 places on the road when going to from Lima or from Cañete going to Andes, over there to Yauyos, for example. There are maybe 2 hotels, and others are building, they are building others, but there are only maybe 2 places which are not in the city, but they are kind of, somebody bought an area and made those hotels which are nice, beautiful. In Vignac there is one place like that, that you can probably find out that, and they are in a standard that we are standard of America or Ola or some standard of Europe, yeah. But for example, in Yauyos, not so many, so be careful. And I don't think so you can order, you can buy your room or check your rooms by through internet. So I think you would need to know somebody who can help you. And that's also what I do. So if anybody wants to come, I'm not a tourist guide, no. But if somebody wants to have some information, if they want to live, for Peruvian people, if you are Peruvian, if you want to live in Europe, or if you want to live in Poland, yeah, I can get you some information, because I see that there are lots of right now people who want to come to Poland from all Western Europe as well, because Poland is the most safe, the safer place in Europe, of course, and the cleanest. Yeah, because we are Poles, and the wisest. That's a JOANNA Polish. But we are very strict in a sense that, yeah, there's kind of a revolution, because Polish people do not want the illegal, and we are not like Western Europeans. We will not allow everything. But there are immigrants, and if they are skilled, if they will have a visa, if you will have all that, you can come. And if you want to know something about Poland, I will start also a course, Polish, French, and English. Soon, maybe from November. And if somebody wants to learn Polish, I can teach you because I'm a linguist, basically, from my first, my master's, my diplomas. So I do the consultations if you want to have some information for people who want to come to Peru, or for people who want to come to Poland, or even know something about any other part, because I've been living in the United States and France and many other places. So I do the consultations. If you want some consultations, or if you want me to help you with all that, or come and write me. As for, okay, continuing with those buildings, yeah, be careful. If you want some standard, okay, the best is what you can do is look for some guia, some tourist guide or tourist agency. There are some, for example, a lady who is doing the who is a translator, sworn translator in Polish, Spanish. She also have a tourist agency. If you want to help with that, I will give you contacts. Or if you want anything, there are lots of Poles also who are tourist guides. Of course, they mostly live in Cusco or surroundings. Yeah. And they will help you with, organize everything, like tickets, like renting. But some people just want to come to visit. And for example, if you want to come to my workshop, but you also want to visit another places, another parts, I will help you. Yeah, I can help you. If you want, for example, go to Cusco, rent a house, you can use R&B, because R&B works over there near Cusco or Lima, but it's not really working if you want to live, for example, up north, Andes, or in the Selva. As well, there are like Pichanaki, or I don't know, maybe Tingo Maria and some other places, Selva. But then you will pay a lot. But of course, paying a little more is better, but be careful, because I would say you cannot really, maybe if you have this guide, tourist guide, who is your nationality or is European, you can trust. But I'm sorry to say, but Latin American people, you cannot really trust. You need to check and then trust. So be careful. And their standard is not our standard. But in every place you have good hotels. Like, for example, Huancayo, there's a city which is kind of in provincia, or Huancavelica, Huancayo. There are hotels, like they are up to standard, like 4-5 stars even. So you can find that. This probably you can find also online. Vignac you can find online. But if you just want to wander, like young people want to do, then be careful and think about that. Yeah, if you want to rent a house or go inside a hostel or something, just don't pay. Go check what is there. If shower is working, or if you're renting for a few days or a week, just check everything. Check everything. Yeah, check everything. And depends what you want, but basically what you should check is if your shower is working, and don't expect heating system, and if it's clean, and for example, when you enter the bathroom at the coast or in the Selva, beware, sometimes they've got windows, or don't really open that, because they are purposely locked or closed, because they are cockroaches or something like that. And it's hot. Yeah, it's not that it's the hostel or the hotel will be dirty, but sometimes the hotel is here and just outside the neighbors will be different. Yeah, so they will be not so clean, and this is the problem of surroundings. And yeah, all Latin America is like this. Nice, not nice, nice, not nice. There are areas, of course, And when you want to buy really a house or area, just do it carefully, slowly. Yeah, there are places where, for example, German people and Austrian people in Peru lived in the selva, which is called, I forgot right now, Posuso, for example. So the whole area is more or less European style. So you can go there, expect everything you want from Europe, but it's, of course, it's more expensive, everything, the land and everything. But basically, yeah, but basically cities and kind of buildings, it's like, it's Latin America, it's a third world, yes, in the sense that they have problems with economy as well, but who doesn't? But their mentality, their mind is also in a way, okay, right now I live here, I have a job, I may lose that job in a month or in a year. Why would I finish my house? Why would I build they build houses, but this mentality makes sense. For example, they kind of finish that house here. They put they paint it, yeah, but yeah, and at the front, but the back side or other side they already don't do it, and they don't put cement, so it's kind of destroyed. It's destroying itself, and it's not just ugly. Sometimes it's just ugly. It's like everything is kind of growing at the same time. And it's kind of ugly. It's like unfinished. They want everything quick. But they don't also kind of have that sense of, they just can't afford it. The sense of aesthetics that we've got in Europe. And but there is also a different level of economy and different level of movement. And people have different mentality. They are kind of here and now. They don't make many plans. Okay, here, now I'm here. I don't know if tomorrow I will be here. So I would like kind of finish my house, yeah. They don't think about that. They want everything quick. That's also a problem of that area where you've got terremoto, how you say the seismic, yeah, the movement of the ground, yeah. So it's kind of also a little bit like Japan. By Japan, they are focused, yeah. They plan, they do the big buildings. But here it's a little mentality like, okay, if tomorrow comes that and it destroys my house, why would I build big? Why would I build nice? They are just starting right now with that idea that some areas, not only in Lima or Arequipa or Cusco, that they are, I don't know Cusco so much. I would say Arequipa is this, Posuso is this European mentality, Lima, European mentality. You've got regions, you've got areas like Miraflores in Lima, for example, where everything is like strict European style, clean, even the road traffic is correct. And they also, if everybody needs to paint their house or their department, because they will have a fine, okay, if they don't do it. And it's not so in another part like Victoria, of Lima. It's just like pure improvisation. They do what they want. And so be careful, like where you live, because it's not only that it's not like they are all, it's just that it's this kind of a movement, kind of noise, and it's ugly, that European people will not want to live there. It's not always that it's so, it can be unsafe, yes, as well, in cities. But it can be unsafe as well if you go to Mancora, drugs, and kind of be careful. But it's not so ugly. But in cities and place, just beware where you go, what you do. But in cities, the problem is, if you want to live there, it's not only that maybe not so safe. And it's not all the fault of Venecos, people from Venezuela, as Peruvians say. It's just the fault of all Latin America mentality, but as well their problems. Also control from the other world, for America, for example, North America. But also that they kind of are like that. They're here and now, they don't finish everything. They do everything at the same time. It's no aesthetics. They know kind of order. So it's difficult to live there. Better live in smaller places, also touristic, where tourists come. So people already learned that they need to give some standard for tourists from North America or Europe. They need to put something you can, In Andes, they do everything from the mud, I would say, from the tierra. So I don't know how you say that in English. In fact, it is this kind of red type of ground, type of I forgot it right now. But they kind of do it from do the bricks. Bricks are made basically from this kind of ground, from this kind of soil with water, and then but they do it just like that. Where I live in this Yauyos, people keep on doing that. Yeah, of course, they've got their other houses or nice houses. Some people start really nice houses made of bricks and cement, and then type of bricks with the hole inside, which are more lighter. But they keep on also doing. For example, I live in a place which is the house made of those. It's this traditional way, and I like it because it's better than bricks, because when comes the rainy season, it's hotter where I live, because it's like kind of wooden with connected with this soil, kind of like brick. It's like brick, but they didn't put in they didn't really burn it. They didn't. I don't have words for that. I didn't think about that, but it's this traditional method is like, it's kind of cool. They get the ground. He goes. I've seen how he does it. He cuts from the ground, like here, like the brick. He doesn't do anything with that. Takes it and put and makes his wall. And also it's like, I would say, it's like Japan houses, from paper. So they do it like here, and it's quick. They can kind of do a house in one day, the whole house. And those houses now are not very big. It's like 2 levels, not more, 2 floors, because I think it's not possible. But structures are made of wood, of course. But this wood is eucalyptus, and eucalyptus is kind of o czym mowa? It's all about cześć. It's all about the buildings. O domach. In Polish I did yesterday, so check another transmission from this playlist. Peru bez cenzury, without censorship. Yeah, so they kind of do it like this quickly. They do it quickly. As I said, they quickly build it. They quickly also, if they want to change anything in the house, it's not like 1 week or 1 month what we do, but they just kind of almost with hands because it's made of stones, some wood like eucalyptus, but eucalyptus is not strong, so that's why they don't do many levels. And do it with this mud, this kind of tierra, this ground, which is connected with water, or just kind of taken from the patio, from the garden, and that's how they do it. They keep on doing that. There are lots of houses like that, but again, they should protect it. Those houses should be kind of, you put kind of cement and then you paint it. And sometimes they just do it only in the front, at the front, and they don't do it from the other side. So you can see it's just, sometimes when it's raining and they don't protect it with paint and cement and so on, you can see like this mud, this kind of, it's like blood. It's kind of coming and destroying the houses. You can have big houses, because I've seen 1, 2, 3 levels, big house, but lots of wood they used for that. And normally the bases it's connected with stones. And there are some people in Provincia, in the Andes, that have houses purely from the stones. I don't know how it's inside. I think they put that mud, this ground, inside walls to make walls, but it's like places in the Andes, how to say, because they usually, okay, first thing is that if they live this kind of primitive way, it doesn't mean they are poor. Those people in the Andes, they are very rich, because vicuñas, llamas, and all that wool, all that's expensive. And those are animals, cows, that's very expensive. Yeah, maybe it was better before, but those people are rich, simply. And you've got also a lot of mines, and people work in mines, and they earn well. Yeah, they put children in good schools, and then those children go to Europe. They don't come here anymore. That's bad. But basically, they are rich, but they just kind of don't show off. That's their style, or maybe that's protection. I don't know. I will not judge it. But they kind of live in those houses, but they are in that mentality of feminine energy, everybody, men also, of not change. I don't want to change. I have been living like that. It's good or bad, depending. People who are stubborn like this are also good, because they don't, you cannot indoctrinate them well. So I kind of like it. They have their opinion, their mind. They don't kind of, yeah, when they make their mind, that's like that. But they can't keep on living over there. They don't have their bathrooms there, or they do, but they don't have showers. Surely no chimneys, no heating systems, and they kind of don't make it aesthetic. But they may have 3 or 4 houses in different places in Lima. And in Lima, for example, can be tip-top, everything there. But for example, in the Andes is traditional and simple. Or they may have their kind of house, hut, in where they have their vicuñas or llamas, and it will be made from stones or like wooden or something like that, and no heating, and kind of maybe they have those to heat, to have made of those llamas, or yeah, the skin, and with fur. That's what, yeah, kind of. It's like is or used to be in Switzerland or Poland, or like in the mountains. Yeah, but we more have wooden houses. Yeah. Over here they use stones, but as well they are also houses. Some people really just take stones and they just build their house. I watch my Facebook, and then I have the brand Gaio Sofia, where I show Peru on Facebook, and there is also an Instagram and TikTok and so on. I'm showing those things. So there's like a clash. So there are people who are rich, they don't show off that they are rich. They may be rich in Lima, they do everything they want, and then they come back to Provincia, and you will not see that's the same person. And or they may have houses in Andes, for example, that are like, first, because I've been there, I know people, yeah. So they, for example, can have the house which it's not painted and so on. You don't see anything. Then you enter. It's like one room empty, or for dogs, and then you enter this house where they have everything, but nobody sees from outside. So it's like that. And in the selva, that's the same. There are people who just have their stores or their houses which are made of, I don't know, palmas or whatever, kinda on bamboo or something like that, wooden, and it's very hot. And it's very hot also in kind of winter. It's like, it's not even autumn, it's hot. But also there are hotels, of course. Yeah. So depending what you want, if you want to wander around Peru, you will see the clash kind of not cultures, but of ideas. Yeah. But that's normal in all Latin America. But the most what you see in houses is that they want to do things quick. Yeah, even when it's for tourists, be careful because they can just cheat on you, because they will tell you, I have everything, da, 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 and then you need to check it if everything works and how it was done, especially if you want to rent for a year a house or something. So check it, go to the notary or to just check it, yeah. And also they don't keep a word like we do in Europe or North America. So do it. What's coming on? Hi. I don't know you. All right. I'm terminating. I'm finishing. I don't know, some messages. Okay, because some messages are... Anyway, those comments will not be in the saved transmission. Bye-bye.